Where do you live? In a rented apartment or your parents' home? At some point in our adult life, most of us will consider buying a property. And for those who have invested already, you may decide to sell one of your properties towards other purposes. How do you intend going about this? You will get better educated on today's edition of the Nigeria Property Show. Welcome.
Good morning, welcome to The Experts. Today on The Experts, we will be looking at an issue germane to all of us. That is buying and selling of properties. How do we go about this if you want to buy or sell a property? To educate us today is an estate surveyor. Chudi Ubos is an estate surveyor and valuer of 27 years of practice. He was the former African president of the International Real Estate Federation, a body of specialized professionals who operate in the various sectors of the real estate industry. He assists people in buying and selling of properties. Good morning, sir. You're welcome to The Experts.
Thank you very much.
Now, what are the main processes involved if I want to buy a property?
The key thing is make sure that when the time comes, you're working with the right professional, and in the word of it, the right professional is the estate surveyor and valuer, whose training from the beginning is real estate related, is property related. Now, what does it take to buy a property? You need to decide what you want. If you have a large family, you need to decide how many people. You need to decide how many bedrooms you want. If you have a family of maybe 2 children, maybe you want a flat. The larger the family, the larger the size of people to be accommodated, the bigger the property, the house that you need to buy. So when you have that, when you make that decision, you probably also now look at what are the possible locations where you want to buy. But again, one of the most important determinants of this, of buying a property, is actually your financial capability. Once that is all sorted out, then work with the right professional. He would give you a couple of options that you can choose from, and he'll guide you through the process.
Who is that person that links up the who?
Okay.
The owner of that property, or whoever is buying that property from.
When people want to sell, they come or should go to the estate surveyor and valuer. The reason why you need to speak to an estate surveyor and valuer is that he will look at your property. He has all the details. He's got the data. He's got the market knowledge. He's got the experience. He'll be able to tell you that this is what your property is worth. This is what you can get for it in the market. When you want to sell, he's the right person to talk to. He will advise you on what you will achieve. And subsequently, you should be able to give him that instruction to go out there and get you a buyer. Now, he would get that buyer. The buyer would come with his own set of professionals, maybe another set of estate surveyors on his side, who would advise him and say, look, the price that has been placed on this property we think is high or it's low. These, depending on the reasons where you're buying, the appropriate professionals will come in and tell you things. But at the end of the day, the lawyer comes in. What happens in our society is that many people, the lawyer is like a jack of all trades, and that's understandable where we're coming from. We're still coming from a background where the lawyer has been seen as the ultimate professional, but that's
isn't that changing?
That's changing. Oh yeah, that's changing now. That's changing completely, and so people are beginning to understand the role of every other professional when it comes to doing transactions in real estate and buying or selling property.
Some people may think, but I know this property consultant, or there's an online site.
Yeah.
I can just go. So much so that we all know that if you're looking for a place now, you can just go online and check to let. There's this online platform where you can just go and check up if you want to an apartment. Yes,
the internet is there. You can search for the property that you want. You can see the price. You can see detail. You might be able to see details of the title. But at some point in time, you must make that physical contact with the agent who is selling the property. You must make that physical contact with the property. It would be unwise for you, no matter how much the property has been burnished and showcased on online, it would be unwise for you to close the transaction without making a physical visit to the property. It would be unwise for you to close the transaction without understanding the details of the title and maybe undertaking a proper search at the land registry. So at some point in time, there's only a limit that the online platforms can do.
Do the same rules apply to the various types of properties? If one is buying a bungalow, for example, at the GRA Ikeja here in Lagos, or Bodija in Ikeja, those are prime areas that used to be serene.
Yeah.
Does the same rule apply to if one is buying a duplex in Port Harcourt, for an example?
For most of us, that's the largest chunk of money we will ever spend. The same rules apply. There must be proper due diligence. You must know that the property you're buying meets your purpose. So the same rules apply. The same rules apply in terms of what the property is offering you, in terms of title, in terms of the location, in terms of its structural stability and its soundness, in terms of the facilities that it offers. The same rules apply. In terms of what the neighborhood is, never take for granted what the neighborhood is. You must go there, and I sometimes advocate going to the neighborhood 2-3 times before you make a final decision.
What time of the year should one buy an apartment?
You can buy.
What's the best time?
No, I know. In Lagos, people say, "Oh, buy properties during the rainy season." No, that's not true. If a landlord or an agent wants to mask those things, if they think that is a problem, they can easily mask them. But I think at the end of the day, if you use the right professional, and don't forget that the professional has a duty of care to offer you. He has a duty to offer you the best professional services, and you can actually sue him at the end of the day if you think that there has been some lag in the services that he has offered. So the key thing is using the right professional. Yes, it's surveyor and valuer will guide you, and you don't have I tell you, you use the right professional, you're 95% home.
We live in Nigeria, and like you said,
yeah,
most people see the lawyers, those in that profession, as everything. That's because they probably do a bit of everything. Some people may say, I'm close to this lawyer, I know him. He also does some property consultancy. Can they also see these people as someone that can guide them when buying or selling a property?
Lawyer's main task, the duty, is to ensure that you have a solid transferable title transferable and registrable title. The lawyer should not be able to give you the value of your property. That's the duty of an estate surveyor and valuer. The lawyer can prepare the relevant documents. The lawyer will not be able to tell you about structural stability. He will be able to tell you about what I call it, rental incomes from the property. He might, but the best person that is suited for those things still remains the estate surveyor and valuer.
Still on the judiciary, the law, is there a particular law that guides the buying or selling of a property?
When you say a law that guides the buying and selling...
The purchase, I want to buy a property now.
Yes.
Is there?
No, I don't. If you want to buy a property, you can call up any estate surveyor and tell him what you want. He'll get your property. Maybe what you might be referring to is something like the Land Use Act. When you buy a property, you have to go and perfect your title with the government. And in doing that, you pay the government some amount of money, consent fees, stamp duty, capital gains tax, registration fees, and so on. Those that might be what you could be referring to.
For others who have one reason or the other to want to sell a property or one of their properties,
yes.
What are the rules guiding this?
When you're selling, is ensure that you are getting the best value for your property. And
how can this be done?
And the only way you can get that is by speaking to the right professional. I keep coming back to this because fortunately this is what I do. Speak to the right professional, speak to an estate surveyor and valuer. He's got the skill, he's got the knowledge, he's got the market knowledge. That's what he does 8 to 5 or 8 to 8 every day. So, and he's well versed in real estate. So he'll be able to tell you this is what your property can fetch you.
Thank you very much for sharing it. Now let me ask you, sir, what are the common mistakes prospective buyers make?
The common mistake, always use a professional. Use the right estate surveyor. Make sure, use the right lawyer that understands real estate law. A real estate lawyer will prepare your documents properly and ensure that all the clauses and covenants that are in that document protect you. Common mistakes, you make sure you do a thorough inspection of the property. Common mistakes, determine what it would cost you to renovate the property, to put it in tenantable or lettable condition before you buy, because you just might buy and then you suddenly find that your estimates are way below the realities that you're facing after you have purchased the property.
Now, for those who may be looking at selling a property or one of their property for some reasons,
yes,
what should they look out for?
Again, speak to the right professional. Take his advice. Take his advice. When he's giving you that advice, give him the instruction to sell the property, because he's not going to let him take the responsibility of achieving the figure that he has given you. And if you don't want to give him that, if you don't want to take his advice, let him know that you're not taking the advice, and
What's your general advice for Nigerians?
You might say, what's the value of using a professional? Why pay fees? The reason why you should pay fees is because the professional ensures that you get the best service, and at the end of the day, your money is protected and the entire transaction is above board and legal.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your knowledge.
Thank you very much.
That was a lot of education for us.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We just listened to the expert's point of view. If you think it's as easy as ABC if you want to buy or sell your property, it becomes important for you to seek expertise, advice, and guidance to do so that your finances remain safe and you are safe yourself. For those of us who want to buy a property, it is important to start your research early and ensure that you take an inspection of the area at all times to know what exactly is on ground. Please stay with us. The Nigeria Property Show continues in a moment.
Hope you got valuable information on the long-term benefits of consulting professionals before buying or selling your property. I did. Join us same time next week. I am Remiola Dendi. Thanks for watching.